Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1. I am Jamal Ratnayaka for the Newsfirst team.
And I'm Zeenat Musafa. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines.
Narendra Modi prepares for a tour of Sri Lanka in June. President again denies claims that he was aware of the April 21st attacks. Sajith Premadasa's promise to the people.
අඩුම ගණනේ 2019 මේ ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන දේශපාලන හැරුම් ලක්ෂයේදීවත් මගේ පියාණන්ගේ නාමයෙන් ඒ යුගය ඔබත් අපිත් අත්වල දැනගෙන නිර්මාණය කරනවාමයි කියන එක මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
Awarding of 600,000 new Samruddhi schemes to begin from Ampara. Trade unions allege that the project is marred with irregularities.
නවත්තා ගැනීම සඳහා ආරක්ෂා කිරීම සඳහා අපි සංගමයක් වශයෙන් වගකීමෙන් කටයුතු.
In headline-making news, Narendra Modi was sworn in as the 17th Prime Minister of India today. The swearing-in ceremony began at 7 this evening at the official presidential residence.
Heads of state of many Asian countries, including Bhutan, Myanmar and Thailand, attended the glamorous ceremony today. President Maithripala Sirisena arrived in India this afternoon with a delegation that included Sri Lankan High Commissioner to India, Austin Fernando. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's new cabinet will have several first-time ministers. The names emerged hours before Prime Minister Modi and his team of ministers took oaths after the BJP's resounding victory in the national election. These names include Amit Shah, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Piyush Goyal, Smriti Irani, Nirmala Sitharaman. Earlier today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party President Amit Shah paid tribute to Sadaiv Atal Samadhi, the memorial of late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Indian media reported that Prime Minister Narendra Modi could make a short visit to Sri Lanka on his way to or back from the Maldives on the 7th and 8th of June during his first visit overseas in his second term. The Indian Premier is due to address the Maldivian Parliament when he visits the country.
Now on to another headline-making story. Deputy leader of the UNP Minister Sajith Premadasa expressed the following views at an event in Ahatweber today.
At least at the turning point taking place in 2019, the program to transform Sri Lanka into another Singapore requires the blessings of the general public. What our country needs is a leadership that is efficient and not idle. A leadership that understands the problem of the poor and feels the heartbeat of the underprivileged. A leader that can survive any force. This is not my opinion. This is the opinion of the general public. This is the voice of the people. The hope and expectations of the general public. In the name of my father, I promise to bring back that era with the support of the people. There is nothing more to say. You should go to your homes and rethink about this.
The minister expressed these views during an event held to vest in the public the 193rd model village constructed under the Samata Sevena housing program.
The Attorney General's Department informed Colombo Chief Magistrate Lanka Jayaratne today that it will be taking measures to institute legal action against Minister Ravi Karunanayake for providing false evidence before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into the Treasury bond issue.
Senior State Counsel Lakmini Girihagama informed court providing false evidence is an offence under Article 189 of the Penal Code. She informed court charges will be filed against Minister Ravi Karunanayake after recording statements from him, his daughter Onela Karunanayake and several others. Senior State Counsel Lakmini Girihagama said the investigations are yet to be compiled due to the failure by respective parties to comply with the order issued by court on the 28th of February to appear before the CID and provide details of all bank accounts and income of global transportation and logistics owned by the family of Ravi Karunanayake. She requests the court to consider the fact that Onela Karunanayake is not paying any interest to comply with the court order. She added both Minister Karunanayake and his daughter have informed that they will appear before the Criminal Investigation Department on the 6th of June to provide statements for the ongoing investigations. She requested for Onela Karunanayake to be questioned when she appeared before the CID as to why she failed to provide documents as per the court order. Colombo Chief Magistrate Lanka Jayaratne instructed the Senior State Counsel to file charges against Onela Karanayaka under Section 172 of the Penal Code for violating court orders, if there is information to claim the order was ignored on purpose. Court ordered for a process on the investigation to be made available on the 29th of August. When Minister Ravi Karanayaka was questioned about the purchase of a luxury apartment in Colombo by the Presidential Commission investigating the bond scam, he said he was unaware of this purchase and that it had been done under his family's name. In the final report, the Presidential Commission had recommended for legal action to be taken by the Attorney General and other law enforcement agencies under the Penal Code and the Commissions of Inquiry Act, if the statement made by the minister was found to be false.
President Maithripala Sirisena reiterated he was not made aware by anyone of the April 21st terror attacks. Now, the President's media division in a statement notes local and international reports which suggest the President was made aware of the incident are completely false.
This statement comes following media reports quoting the National Intelligence Chief mentioning before the Parliamentary Select Committee appointed to investigate the April 21st attacks that the National Security Council did not convene after February of 2019. It goes on to note a National Security Committee with a different structure was set up as the discussions of the National Security Council were being reported by the media in an unofficial capacity. The President's media division in a statement says the National Security Committee over the recent past convened once every fortnight, and at times the President convened the National Security Committee once a week as well. The President's media unit also goes on to note that on the 8th of April 2019, the President called for a monthly meeting with the Inspector General of the Police and senior police officers. It adds, at this meeting, which lasted more than 2 hours, not a single officer presented had mentioned to the President of any available information on a terror plot. It further adds the Secretary of Defence, the Inspector General of Police or any other officials did not take measures to inform the President of any information on the April 21st terror attacks made available by a friendly foreign nation. The Security Council convened in February as well. However, afterwards, someone connected in this regard had given information to third parties. Another officer, claiming that it was a decision taken by the Security Council, exchanged information through a letter, which is later informed to the media. That is why the Security Council did not convene. However, the Security Committee convened once a week. Apart from a few officers, the rest gathered and provided the necessary instructions. There was a meeting on the 8th as well.
The Parliamentary Select Committee appointed to look into the April 21st attacks as well as the details revealed by the committee has come under public scrutiny. These were the views expressed in the political arena in this regard.
The Select Committee was open to the media yesterday and revealed many details in this regard. The MPs of the joint opposition who attempted to divert this matter to a different direction are now struggling like snakes sprayed with kerosene. The former DIG attached to the Terrorist Investigations Division, Nalaka Silva, had filed a B report to arrest Zaran on the 2nd of July 2017 under the Colombo magistrate. When the DIG tried to obtain a warrant and act in this regard, he was suspended from work and arrested in September. The action plan was completely halted afterwards. Such a process will never take place in any other country. There were instances where they were continuously questioned what eyes only mean. Such terms are generally used by security forces. It's confidential and not questioned by anyone. Information regarding national security is confidential to the extent that even meeting minutes are not recorded. However, unfortunately, politicians in our country expose everything. Our intelligence units were completely dismantled by revealing details regarding Millennium City. This is yet another phase that is currently underway. We make a request to the Speaker. You can obtain information regarding any matter. However, maintaining such levels of transparency in terms of information obtained from intelligence units will harm the future of our country and our future generations. Therefore, we request to refrain from live broadcast. The present government includes the President as well. Therefore, if any damage is caused to national security or intelligence units, the UNP must take over the complete responsibility. When the main perpetrators involved in the central bank bond scam are assigned to investigate into those involved in the April 21st attacks, we cannot imagine how to laugh.
When we see the individual who said he does not remember how his spouse got a house from Aloysius question the security officers, we cannot imagine what has happened to this country. Members from the JVP, the party which had Ibrahim as a nationalist nominee, are questioning police officers over who were paid by the intelligence units. The April 21st attacks did not take place due to any issue with intelligence units. The IGP or any other officer can be assigned a loan, and that is not a fault. It was even revealed yesterday that Minister Sagala Ratnayaka was informed of this. Without accepting that they committed such a sin, they summoned the intelligence officers. Then there was Jayampati with federal opinions. He is the chairman. Then there is another individual who served respectfully as the army commander. However, he lost all respect by bringing forward the white flag matter. Those trying to whitewash the central bank bond scam are now investigating into the April 21st attacks.
The Attorney General has instructed Acting IGP C.D. Vikramaratne to ensure enforcement of traffic laws equally across the country and uphold the rule of law. The directions from the AG were confirmed to News First by Coordinating Officer to the Attorney General, State Counsel Nishara Jayaratne. She said the directions were issued as a result of media reports and taking note of the evidence presented with regard to the non-enforcement of traffic laws in the Eastern Province, namely the violations such as non-usage of helmets by motorcyclists. Yesterday, News First reported on the manner in which people travel in motorcycles in the Eastern Province without helmets. In more news, police media spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekara today said there is no truth to the rumours spreading of a lack of security at schools. The police media spokesperson requested the general public not to be deceived by such false reports.
We have observed that there are various rumours spreading about the security conditions in schools. Maximum security is being provided by the three armed forces, police and the civil security department. Against such a backdrop, we reject such rumours completely. Therefore, we request the general public not to be deceived by such false reports and to proceed with your normal daily routine.
The police media spokesperson also informed the media of the progress made regarding the investigations into the April 21st attacks.
The Criminal Investigations Department started to analyze the telephone numbers of the suicide bombers responsible for the April 21st attacks and more than 1,800 telephone numbers connected to them. 66 suspects, including 7 women arrested in connection with the April 21st attacks, are currently held by the CID, and another 21 suspects, including 2 women, are currently held by the Terrorist Investigations Division, while further investigations are underway.
In other local news, all faculties at the University of Kelaniya, except the medical faculty, were closed today until further notice. Officers at the university had informed students to leave the university premises by 10 this morning.
Following the opposition of certain student groups against the special security arrangements adopted by the university following the April 21st attacks, the administration decided to close down the university premises until further notice.
As per the special security arrangements with the security division of the university, students were requested to leave the university cafeteria and all departments and centers within the university premises by 9 p.m. However, due to a small group of students and their continuous efforts to remain within the university premises and act against such security measures, the administration decided to close all faculties except for the medical faculty to control the situation.
Students were informed to leave the university premises by 10 a.m. and subsequently to leave their respective hostels by 2 p.m. today.
We demanded for the imposition of security measures as well as the freedom and right to continue with our studies, assignments and presentations. However, they are only prepared to lock us up like chickens inside a cage. We are against this. Instead of imposing effective security measures, they are refraining students from engaging in their educational activities.
The university spokesperson noted all weekend programs will continue as usual as per the fixed timetable.
Taking a look at some more news from here at home, the Minister of Finance announced certain concessions to uplift a number of industries affected by the April 21st attacks.
Restaurant, surfing station.
We know that a large number of people who were operating restaurants, surfing stations and small clothing stores and souvenir stores are helpless today. Thereby, we will be introducing the Sancharaka Podda loan scheme under the Enterprise Sri Lanka loan scheme from the 10th of June. We will grant a sum of up to 500,000 rupees without charging any interest. We will also grant a 12-month grace period and the loan will be payable in a period of 3 years. We will limit the granting of this loan scheme to regional development banks. We decided to provide private bus owners with a grace period for the payment of installments for the months of April and May. We have issued a circular to the relevant banks and finance companies to provide this concession. Especially following a request made by Minister Sajith Premadasa, a grace period will be provided to members of bands performing outdoors for the repayment of loans they have obtained. Also, a low-interest working capital loan scheme will be introduced from the 10th of June 2019 to be repayable in 2 years at an interest rate of 3.46% up to an amount of 500,000 rupees. A plan on this will be issued to the Bank of Ceylon. This government will be bearing the cost of 75% of these concessionary loan schemes. We also expect to give out similar concessions to designers of Vesak pandals by Wednesday next week.
සහන ලබා දෙන්නට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
The Government Medical Officers Association has requested the President to remove Minister of Health Dr. Rajda Senaratne from his position with immediate effect.
The letter requesting for legal action to be taken against the Health Minister highlights three main reasons. The first is the interference of the minister in the investigations into the conduct of a doctor in Kurunegala and the minister appointing an unreliable committee to investigate the allegations against the doctor to unduly influence the investigations. The second reason mentioned in the letter are the revelations made by the audit report of billions of rupees being misappropriated at the Health Ministry for the issuance of expired and substandard medicine to the general public and putting the lives of people at risk. The GMOA points out that the decision by the Court of Appeal holding the appointment made by the Minister to the Medicines Regulatory Authority to be illegal is grounds for the Minister's removal. The GMOA requests the President to take over the Ministry of Health and immediately remove Dr. Rajda Senaratne from his position. Meanwhile, Minister Rajda Senaratne was reappointed as a Deputy Chairman of the World Health Organization at the Executive Committee session for 2019 and 2020. He was appointed at the 72nd Annual Convention of the World Health Organization that commenced in Geneva, Switzerland yesterday.
Health Secretary Vasantha Perera appeared before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing fraud and corruption over the past 4 years at state institutions over a complaint which claims public funds were used to maintain the Dr. Neville Fernando Teaching Hospital in the absence of a legal takeover.
The Presidential Commission investigating allegations of fraud and corruption at state institutions from the 15th of January 2015 to the 31st of December 2018 has launched an investigation over the use of state funds to maintain the Neville Fernando Hospital without legally handing over the hospital to the government. Secretary to the Ministry of Health Vasantha Perera appeared before the Presidential Commission and said the cabinet paper states that the Neville Fernando Hospital will be owned by SITEM for 10 years. She added that the hospital can only be taken over by the government after that time frame. A communique issued by the Presidential Commission to the media highlights the question raised as to whether the Ministry Secretary, who is the Chief Accounting Officer by law, ought to correct an incorrect financial decision put forward by a minister. According to the communique, the Health Secretary Vasantha Perera had answered in the affirmative. The proceedings were adjourned until the 6th of June.
Up next is Action TV.
The official term of the Colombo Municipal Council ended only a year after the government of good governance came into power, after which the responsibilities of the council fell upon the municipal commissioner. However, evading the municipal commissioner, with the good grace of the Cabinet Committee on Economic Management, a private company was given the go-ahead to construct these smart garbage bins. The private company that promised to build 100 of these smart garbage bins equipped with Wi-Fi technology secured the contract for the project in violation of the procurement procedure. The contract was awarded on the 29th of November 2016 and was revoked exactly 2 years later. The fact that the company had only constructed 21 smart garbage bins during this 2-year period and other issues had led the municipal council to revoke the contract. Wi-Fi facilities are available at only 2 of the smart garbage bins that were constructed. The remaining have paved the way for an array of environmental issues in various parts of Colombo. Given the current situation in the country, the remaining 19 smart garbage bins have even become a threat to national security. The private company in question has not made any payment in lieu of these 21 smart garbage bins. Against this backdrop, the private company has requested permission from the municipal council to recommence the project. Although an advisor to the Prime Minister had instructed the municipal council to consider this request, it has not yielded any result. However, during the next meeting of the municipal council's financial committee, the failed project is due to be implemented through another private company. This too is done in violation of procurement procedure. Why isn't action being taken against the company that implemented this failed project within the limits of the Colombo city, causing many environmental issues? Is it the same initial private company that is attempting to secure the contract for this failed project in the guise of a different company? What is the secret behind this project being awarded in violation of procurement procedure? Governor of the Western Province, this is over to you.
Colombo Municipal Councillor Shamila Gonawala filed a petition at the Supreme Court today alleging that her rights were violated through irregularities in the garbage disposal scheme at the Colombo Municipal Council.
The petition alleges that the price paid to a private company for the removal of garbage by the Colombo Municipal Council has increased significantly. The petitioner pointed out that the price paid for the disposal of garbage by the Colombo Municipal Council to this private company, which stood at between 7 to 10 million rupees, had increased to between 15 and 20 million rupees in the agreement signed for the same in 2015. The recent renewal of the agreement had put the sum payable for the disposal of garbage at between 35 and 44 million rupees to this private company. The petitioner alleges that there is a massive irregularity in this deal and that this is a theft of the taxpayers' money.
නගරයේ ජනතාව ගෙවන බදු මුදල් වලින් නඩත්තු වෙන සභාවක් මේ.
This is a council that is maintained by the money of the taxpayers. During the previous council sessions, I highlighted these irregularities. We ourselves have created the background for private companies to dictate terms due to the weaknesses of our own management. We have to change the situation, but this has not happened. Even when all of these irregularities were revealed at the council sessions, the awarding of this tender was approved. I said that I will take legal action against this. As public representatives, as people who are paid by public funds, we are liable for every single rupee of the taxpayers. Standing with the people on this, I filed a case against the Colombo Municipal Council and the heads of these departments at the council.
ඒ පැත්තේ ඉඳගෙන මම අද දවසේ කොළඹ මහනගර සභාවටත් එහි මේ අංශ ප්‍රධානීන්ට එරෙහිවත් නඩුවක් පැවරුවා.
The Commissioner General of Inland Revenue, Nadun Guruge, met with the chief incumbent of the Malwatu chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Tibbatuwawe, Sri Sumangala Thero.
Billion dah, kaya ni 1 trillion. Dan kita mai pula protein.
Perlu kali nak alam cipta zaman yang kita batu akaran ni. Batu akaran ni.
So, macam mai namun tiga pijang ni. Apa dia na, ini mah budian saja. Ni kita mataraga vimarshan saja. Itu apa itu betul lepas nama api, tur pas gila ni kerja ada yang lakukan.
Dan itu tahu काम करोगे गोवियन की मेहनत बात हुआ करना ये
memang pihak goviya මේ ගණන් වැරදි ඒ මොකක් හරි වාහනයක් වගේ ගත්තොත් තොරතුරක් අපිට හම්බ වෙනවා මෝටර රථ ප්‍රවාහන දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ අපි තොරතුරු ගන්නවා ඒ වගේ තොරතුරක් ලැබුණොත් ඉතින් වතු ගණුවක් අපි බලලා තමයි විවෘත කරන්නේ ඉතින් සමහරවිට ඉතින් වැඩි තොරතුරු දෙනවා ඒ
සමහරවිට ෆිනන්ස් කරන ගන්න
ඒකට ඒවට අපි සහන දෙනවා ෆිනන්ස් ගන්නවට අපි සහන දෙනවා.
Today marks the 75th birthday of the Most Venerable Tibbatuwawe Sri Sumangala Thera, the Mahanayaka of the Malwatu chapter of the Siam sect.
Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thera was born on the 30th of May 1944. The Most Venerable Thera hails from Sri Siddhartha Buddha Rakita Buddhist clan. The Thera completed his higher education successfully and received his higher ordination at the age of 20 years on the 10th of June 1964 under the guidance of then Mahanayaka Thera of the Malwatu chapter of the Siam sect at the Sima Malakaya of Malvatta Mahaviharaya. The Thera was appointed to the prestigious position of Anunayaka Thera or the Deputy Chief Prelate of the Malvatta chapter on the 13th of May 1992. After serving as the Anunayaka of Malvatu chapter for 12 years, Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thera was elevated to the position of Mahanayaka Thera or Chief Prelate of the Malvatu chapter of the Siam sect on the 20th of June 2004. Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thera has received the respect and appreciation of all Mahasangha and is carrying out a yeoman service to our motherland.
Colombo Municipal Councillor Mahinda Rajapaksa has been shortlisted for a prize awarded by the globally acclaimed One Young World institution.
Mahinda Rajapaksa was shortlisted for the One Young World Politician of the Year Award 2019. Mahinda is an elected member of Colombo Municipal Council and founding executive committee member of Sri Lanka Youth People's Front since March of 2018. He was among the 20 candidates from across the globe shortlisted for the prize. He is among only 3 Asians contending for the award. The award was created to celebrate the most impressive, impactful young politicians around the world. The 5 winners will be chosen based on the impact they have had on their community and how they have used their position to benefit the lives of young people. The prize will be awarded in London this September.
The inauguration ceremony of the program to induct 600,000 families into the Samruddhi beneficiary scheme was held today at the premises of the G.H. Veerasinghe grounds in Ampara.
The Ampara town and adjoining areas were decorated in this manner for the ceremony, which was held under the auspices of the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The Samruddhi benefit will be awarded to low-income earning families identified from all 25 districts. While 20,600 families from the Ampara district will be awarded the Samruddhi benefit, 5,000 families were awarded Samruddhi certificates at the ceremony to signify the commencement of the program.
Several other suicide bombers from Zaharan's faction were out in the open, but they were apprehended. Those who aided in these terror attacks have also been arrested. Our security forces have been successful in controlling the situation. Those forces have been decimated. However, we cannot be complacent with the situation because such a team can be formed again. I would like to reiterate that the laws in place are insufficient. There are laws which would enable us to record biometrics. Such laws should be approved as soon as possible. The existence of a law alone is inadequate if we cannot restructure it according to our requirements. Look at the t-shirt I have given you. It says, "Let's think new," and also, "Let's rise with courage." Some ask me why I spent money printing t-shirts. My name has not been printed on any of these t-shirts. However, these slogans have been printed on them because I aspire to change the mentality of the people. Our government will strive to foster an environment where the people can rise through their own courage.
Nonetheless, the All Ceylon Samruddhi Development Officers Association points out that the Samruddhi scheme is marred in discrepancies.
The Director General, along with his henchmen, has issued a circular requesting money from the Samruddhi banks to direct 500 rupees each to the account of the District Director of the Samruddhi scheme in order to allocate it to organize this ceremony and to provide the attendants with refreshments, t-shirts, caps and so on. They have raised more than 300 million rupees with the intention of misappropriating the surplus funds. We will lodge a complaint at the police headquarters by Monday and file a case regarding this. The people whom this 300 million is being spent on are not our members. We do not have any provisions from the Divi Naguma Act to allocate funds for these so-called Samruddhi beneficiaries from the community-based Samruddhi banks.
UK's first unexplained wealth order recipient was Zamira Hajieva. Her husband is serving a 15-year sentence in their native Azerbaijan for stealing millions from his state-controlled bank. Extensive investigations have revealed that she managed to spend £16 million in Harrods without raising suspicions with the use of 54 credit cards, many of which were linked to her husband's ban. Hajieva risks losing her £15 million home near Harrods and a golf course, Millride Golf Club in Berkshire, worth millions more on top if she fails to explain the source of her wealth to the High Court. The National Crime Agency's painstaking investigation reveals a highly unusual, secretive and complex manner in which the property has been obtained, involving offshore companies as well. Unexplained wealth orders came into force in January 2018 in the United Kingdom. After an application from an enforcement authority, a High Court judge can give notice of a UWO only if she is satisfied that the minister or respondent is likely to be the owner of suspicious wealth beyond his means, and if all of the following tests are met. Number 1. The respondent is a politically exposed person outside of the EEA, or there are reasonable grounds to suspect that the respondent is or has been involved in serious crime. Number 2. The respondent's known income is insufficient to obtain the asset. Number 3. The value of the asset is greater than £100,000. The UWO requires the minister to explain how he lawfully acquired his assets. If he fails to respond or gives an inadequate response, then this extra information can be used in a separate civil recovery process if law enforcement has gathered sufficient evidence.
In other local news, more than 100 people belonging to 24 families in the Holyrood area in Thalawakale have been displaced as a result of a fire that erupted in the line houses they were residing in. The fire has erupted last night, and initial investigations revealed that the incident had taken place as a result of an electric leak.
The fire had erupted around 10 last night. The families that were dislocated as a result of the fire had been relocated at the Holyrood Tamil Mahavidyalaya. They were once again relocated this morning to a community hall located in the estate. The food, water and other needs of these people are being provided by the Divisional Secretariat of Nurelia, the management of the Holyrood estate and the residents of the area. Several area politicians had arrived today to inspect on the group of people.
In more sports news, we are just 2 days away from the 75th Bradby Shield. Newsfirst's Muad Razik filed this report.
The blue ribbon of Sri Lanka's school rugby. Royal versus Trinity is a century-old rugby rivalry. Trinity's record 6 consecutive wins from 1952 to 1957 is still unbroken. 1956 was regarded as the golden year of Trinity rugby. They beat Royal in both legs. 9 members of that Trinity team played for Sri Lanka. In 1958, Royal, led by Lawrence Pereira, regained the Bradby after a lapse of 6 years. The return match in 1964 at Nithawela will long be remembered for one of the most remarkable drop goals ever seen by Royals' Lakdasa Disanayaka, executing 3 drop goals. In 1971, Fred Pereira's Royalists recorded the highest score for the series up to that time when they beat Trinity 22 points to 3. Only one game was played in this year due to insurgency in the country. With last year's encounter ending in Royals' favour, the coveted Bradby Shield remains at Reed Avenue for the past 4 years.
Pallekele has been quite a tough place to travel and to play for all Colombo teams as well as even Kandy teams.
Okay, so Pallekele Stadium, the very first game of Bradby Shield rugby was played way back in 1997. Now, I was part of the Royal team who played at Pallekele. Royal lost 14 points to 6. Pallekele is a very difficult place to travel and play, mainly because it's nestled in and amongst the Digana mountains. There's a swirling, horrible wind, and if you don't know how to play, i.e. prepare in and amongst the wind, it's going to give you trouble. So I think Trinity have an advantage because it's their home ground, and the statistics clearly back this up. Trinity have a 5 games to 3 advantage. So that's a 2-game advantage in all Bradby Shield games played at Pallekele.
And with that story, we wrap up tonight's edition of Primetime News on TV1.
Take care and good night.